Good morning. Good morning, peeps. Menabutse. Well, I slept really well for like 3 hours. And then I woke up at 1 a.m.
Awesome rainstorm last night.
Like boom, bang, crash, lightning, lightning, lightning.
So today we will be meeting with Maniacs Eco, who hopefully can get us our solar panel, and then we can talk about batteries too.
Can I give it?
Green machine time!
So we just finished our meeting at Maniacs Eco and
With Francine.
She was very nice. We had ordered batteries and panels from her previously, but they didn't come in on time. So today was kind of about working out what we can and can't get.
But wait, before we drive away.
Overall, she was really great. Francine was really awesome.
Yeah, Francine was really awesome. They're really willing to work with us, give us a discount, so we're really excited.
That's what we have.
Panel!
God, it's lovely out.
Sit on the carpet.
Anyways, we're taking out all of our materials out of the boxes. We'll be putting everything together tomorrow after we get more information on the battery size.
So we're taking a little break in the rain and all kind of reflecting together on some of our first impressions. So here's a couple.
First things I saw is that it was very clean. Didn't see a lot of like loose trash kind of flying around. Felt very safe too, and everyone seemed really friendly and warm and open. It was just everyone's hanging out, and yeah, very, very friendly and very open. It was.
My first impression this time around was that I was happier to be back than I expected to be. And you step off a plane and you kind of get this like smoky smell, and it was really warm, and ran immediately after customs into the arms of John R. and Innocent, got really big bear hugs, which was nice, and then we came to Center Christus and had some good food.
It was fun today to be back in traffic and just watch the way that they dance through the streets and that they're cutting each other off and nobody seems to mind. They just meander their way, and it just hearing poor Isabella at one point shriek because of that happening reminded me of myself the first year.
If I wasn't wet before, I'm definitely wet now.
I did it here at Center Christus. It was pretty good and tasty. I had a really good goat. And then FAA came and we came and introduced ourselves and just ate and hung out for a little bit. And then we also just made our plans for tomorrow, which will be going to the Peace Museum and meeting up with electricians and figuring out our whole battery situation.
Dr. T made a friend.
Very good.
Yeah, there's a traffic row at the jump seat.
Okay, so we're heading to the Peace Museum with the FAI group that came in last night. There's Teal.
Yeah, I guess that like don't mean that it was a nice way to say, or not a nice way.
I really enjoyed going through the center, the Genocide Memorial Center. It made it really real, because just reading about it through the books that we were assigned or just through online research, you're still kind of at a distance from it, but being able to see the actual relics of the events and the country's own take and their positivity in trying to recover from such an atrocity was pretty amazing. I'm still reflecting on it and processing it, but it was a really good experience.
All right, Lauren and Isabella, hold up the batteries. We finally gotten our batteries. We had originally planned to have 22 amp hour batteries, but they were running a little bit behind, and then they got caught up in customs, and we were able to actually find these 28 amp hour batteries, which are a little bit bigger, a whole 6 amp hours larger. So it makes the volume constraint a little tougher, but we're gonna make some adjustments. It's gonna work, and we're happy with the solution.
One of the reasons why we chose these batteries was sustainability. So apparently these batteries are more accessible within the country, so that's also one of the factors why we chose to go with these batteries instead.
We're gonna drill a hole in this panel
Why?
for cable management and to create a connection between the wire to the cart and the panel. Trying to figure out how we would manage the cables, and we were thinking about using these C-clamps and self-tapping screws. But we realized that the self-tapping screws would be really pointy, and also these would have to connect very close to the edge of the panel, which could cause them to tear out if they're pulled on. So we kind of had to think on the spot, and we decided that we would use some 1/4-inch bolts
That we just brought along.
as extras to put into the edge of the panel, and then they would screw down to be flush with the panel, and we could route the cables behind them.
Cool.
We're in the hardware store looking for drill bits.
I'm filing a square hole in the edge of our solar panel to make sure that the wiring can come out in a convenient location. If we were to do this in the States, we would have used a mill or something nicer than this, but all we've got here is a couple drill bits and a couple files, so we're going at it. And luckily it's aluminum, not steel, but...
Okay, so we finally set up the battery box with the new 28 amp hour batteries that we got. Originally we had the motor controller on one side, charge controller on the other, but since these new 28 amp hour batteries are bigger, we had to shift both controllers to one side so that both these batteries could fit in with the wires and everything along this side. Pretty much we decided last minute that we would throw in a little phone charger into the battery box just like that.
Perfect.
So that they can charge their phones, and we just have it connected straight into the load in the charge controller so that it will not discharge the batteries if they leave it in without recharging.
Finished making this adjustment to the panel. We spent a long time filing out a hole to put this connector in.
Hi everyone, so today we all were able to work on some interview questions and kind of figure out what we wanted to, or how we wanted to structure the interviews with the community. And Amani here helped us really understand more about the community and how we can best kind of get the most information and make our time most worthwhile.
Apparently he's well known around here.
Okay.
The heads of the engineering team.
You?
Lindsay and no, not me.
End of day 2. Woohoo! Probably shouldn't say that loud. So today we kind of finished up all the prep work. Tomorrow we're doing Umaganda Day, which is like community service. And then Sunday we'll be headed to our community. So we're super excited.